you think, Goten and Trunks questions? Well, it could be fun, which as soon as Goten and Trunks were from there shown getting back in the car with Goku leaning on in towards the window was when Goku then went on to respond, hey, you might want to wear a seatbelt because I can transport everyone at once, okay? Alright, well, sorry about that just now, but I'm ready, Dad, with Goku responding, great, and so now you get in too, Gohan, which as soon as Goku is then shown placing his hand on the car and having to take the entire car onto Beerus' planet, Goku is only then shown having to enact upon this just in the middle of Whis being shown having to demonstrate yoga to Shilai, Lemmo, and Broly. By no means was Broly, Shilai, Lemmo, Whis, Beerus, or Vegeta expecting for Goku to go on ahead and bring guests, as Goku then went on to continue, hey, look who I brought! Oh wow, so this is Lord Beerus' planet, huh? Goten utters with Vegeta responding, so why have you come here? It was Goku's idea, Dad. Oh, where are we, Sir 15 questions? Oh, nowhere.
He's got to find the best shot possible.
Now, here's Antetokounmpo. He isn't playing a big part of their offensive scheme, averaging around 15.5 points a game. Lays it up and in off the pretty assist.
Familiar Carmine responds, and so that much I can tell you. With Goku being shown approaching Gohan by then responding, hey, so I hear that you were the star of the show, Gohan. With Gohan responding, yeah? Oh, yeah, right, the Red Ribbon Army thing, sure. Well, you want to show me? We might as well spar a little, right? With Gohan responding, spar with you, Dad? Oh, come on, what's the big deal? It's been forever anyways, right? Well, true enough, Gohan responds. Well, in that case, then fine, let's do it. I'm game on if you are, with Beerus then having to shout, oh, the nerve storming onto my planet just to have some fun. Who do you think you are? With Whis having to respond, oh, what's the harm, Lord Beerus? It could be a delightful spectacle, you know. Hey, so tell me, what's this new form of yours, Goku questions? Is it like Super Saiyan 2 or maybe like Super Saiyan 3? With Gohan responding, no, it's called Beast. Beast? Well, that's a new one, Goku responds, with Gohan continuing, yeah, well, Piccolo named it for me, actually. Neato, right? With Goku responding, and wait, so you can just shift into this beast mode whenever? With Gohan responding, yeah, actually, you always told me that I needed to be ready to fight at a moment's notice, and I finally got the message, Dad. And well, it was Piccolo who actually went and taught me the trick to get better control, too. Wait, he did? Well, he is like your old teacher, after all. With Gohan responding, well, speaking of Piccolo, actually, he's got a really awesome new form of his own, too. Whoa, you don't say. Well, I'll have to go and spar with him next time then. Man, everyone's just been making progress, huh? With Vegeta chiming in, ahem, Trunks, did you prove useful as well? Me? Yeah, duh. I played a huge part, right, Goten? Right, Goten? Sure, Goten responds. And I wish you could have seen it too, Dad. Just, you know, all of our sick combo moves and stuff. Well, combo moves, Gohan utters, with Goten responding, well, yeah, since we're a team, and when we combine our power, no opponent stands a chance, with Vegeta having to then think for a second by then responding, interesting. Hey, Kakarot, why not go and pit Gohan against these whelps first? Whoa, Trunks utters? Oh, really? Well, okay, sure, I guess. Well, at least this way I get a peek at Gohan's power before our actual fight, right? With Goten then responding, we gotta fight my brother? Oh, yeah, this is perfect, Goten. Let's go and give it a shot, Trunks responds. Well, yeah, I think we got a chance at taking him down as a team, you know? Well, don't you two sound confident, Gohan responds. Yeah, well, I guess so, Trunks utters. Wait a minute, who are they, Broly questions, with Whis responding, well, those three would be Goku and Vegeta's offsprings, meaning that Saiyan blood flows through their veins as well, to which as soon as Goku and Vegeta were hesitantly being shown watching, both Carmine and number 15 were also now shown doing the same, as 15 went on to then chime in, oh, something's about to go down, sir. I know, and just keep out of sight for now and don't attract any attention, okay? Yeah, well, Carmine, sir, your hair is pretty hard to hide, you know? I'll just curse this. Carmine went on to then shuffle. Hey, Mr. Trunks then went on to suddenly shout, get that camera ready, okay? You bet, 15 utters, with Goku then having to shout, and begin! To which, as the boys were then shown putting on their helmets, and from that point then shown dashing right towards Gohan, it was almost immediately upon Goten and Trunks being shown making their way towards Gohan was when Gohan decided from that point to then only use Super Saiyan and nothing more, which really made you stop and wonder as to what Gohan was planning as the boys were making their way towards him. him, to which as soon as Gohan was shown having to prepare while keeping a smile on his face and blocking off Trunks' initial attack, Goten from out of nowhere not behind Gohan thought that it would be a good idea to catch Gohan off guard, but instead, little did Goten know that he was dealing with his older brother Gohan, and Gohan by no means was going to be putting up with any of this, so instead, Gohan was immediately shown having to block off Goten's kick before the two were then shown breaking off and having to synchronize their attacks yet again. But once again, little did the boys know that they're not dealing with any sort of ordinary criminal or let alone any sort of ordinary person, but instead they attempted to go on ahead and cyclone their way down in doing what they assumed would be best and having to bring Gohan down and beating him in battle, but instead, it was only just as Gohan went on to leap out of the way and having to make complete and utter fools out of both of them at the exact same time was when Goten and Trunks had then realized the error of their ways as they made their way and having to crash down onto the floor, which had only from that point left the others completely embarrassed and having to see what their sons were doing during this entire engagement, because even despite with the others now having to acknowledge this was when Goku then went on to chime in, well, those boys tend to always make a lot of unnecessary movements, as an annoyed Gohan then went on to respond, hey, what's wrong with you guys? Don't cover your heads. It only makes it harder for you guys to see your opponent's movements, with Trunks and Goten responding, oh, damn, but it makes the costume look really cool. No, just forget it, Goten responds, and let's just fight him normally, with Gohan responding, good, that's better, to which moments later, as soon as Goten and Trunks were from that point then shown transforming into Super Saiyans, this was the first time, mind you, that Broly had ever seen Goten, Trunks, and Gohan simultaneously transform into Super Saiyans, as Broly then went on to respond, what? Can everyone just turn Super Saiyan at will? With Whis responding, well, yes, that does seem to be the case with most of the Saiyans on Earth, with Broly uttering, I see. In which this was now beginning to look a little different, because despite the fact that both Super Saiyan Trunks and Super Saiyan Goten having to double team Gohan at the exact same time, it would only now seem as though whenever Goten and Trunks decide to take anything seriously is when they tend to work better with each other than having to go about by utilizing their superhero personas and having to stop crime, because the very moment Goten was shown knocking
Now to have Chime to spot me. They can cover you up to $200 in between paychecks with no overdraft fees. Join me at Chime.com.
on away with Trunks trying to follow up by blasting Gohan with a few energy blasts, it had only now become clear as day that the boys do in fact tend to work better together when indeed they actually are serious about combat, rather than having to portray their Saiyaman X1 and Saiyaman X2 personas, because even despite with Gohan being shown avoiding Trunks' energy blast while at the same time avoiding his brother's strikes, what Gohan inevitably tried to do was bait both Goten and Trunks and having to follow him straight towards Beerus' gigantic tree, to which even as he did, Goten and Trunks did not let up by still continuously being shown attacking Gohan despite nearly crashing right into Beerus' tree, which thankfully enough, the moment Gohan flew upwards with the boys then having to follow him, Gohan had then quickly acted upon having to use the environment around him to his advantage in swinging on over by using one of the branches and knocking Trunks away, to where even with Goten once again attempting to come up from behind Gohan, with Gohan being shown punching Goten down, Gohan did not seem as though he was having any sort of issue by handling these two by himself, to which even despite him being shown letting off a few energy blasts, with the two energy blasts being shown going right through their bodies, what Gohan was not expecting to happen was Gohan was not expecting for the two to use the after image technique, and from there being shown having to come up from behind Gohan yet again, to which instinctively enough, with Gohan barely being shown having to move out of the way, with Goten and Trunks being shown crashing back down, it only had now looked as though Gohan was genuinely proud by seeing the boys actually go as far as to put in some effort, as Gohan then went on to respond, wow, well done you two, I can see that you've been training, and I always thought you guys were just playing around, you know? Well, heroes have to be strong, you know, Goten responds, with Trunks being shown dashing towards Gohan by then uttering, yeah, and that's cuz, to which even with Trunks being shown engaging back and forth, and even going as far as to grab onto Gohan's punches and having to keep him locked in place, was when it now had only looked as though Trunks was comfortable enough in his Super Saiyan form to go as far as to handle Super Saiyan Gohan by himself, as even while locked in a stalemate with Gohan was when Trunks then went on to finish, well, it's like I said, and that's cuz there are people that I want to protect, with Gohan responding, oh, is that so? As immediately there, before you know it, with Gohan then shown having to throw Trunks on down, with Goten yet again for the third time trying to sneak up behind Gohan, Gohan was shown having to yet again move out of the way by grabbing onto Goten's leg, and from there shown having to throw Goten right back down where Trunks was, which was also another indication that even despite with these two having a very small slight advantage by having the numbers game over Gohan, Gohan still as a Super Saiyan was strong enough to handle them by themselves, as Gohan then went on to respond, well, in that case, Beast, count me in too. As with Gohan then shown transforming into his ultimate form, that was when Goten went on to then utter, hey, transforming into ultimate is cheating. What? What's ultimate? Gohan went on to question, with Goten responding, wait, seriously? It's the name of that transformation, Gohan. We didn't know what to call it for a long time, and so, well, we came up with one ourselves. Wink, wink. I don't really get it, with Goten then questioning, oh, the why? Isn't it cool? Hey, Goten, if that's the case, then let's power up too by using fusion. And I'm talking about fusion, with Gohan questioning fusion. Well, didn't you guys feel that before? Yeah, but well, we practiced after that, and so we won't fail now. Hey, old man, make sure you're recording, okay? Trunks utters, with soldier number 15 responding, yes, sir. All right, you ready? Fusion! With Goku then having to utter, oh, look, they seem to still remember Vegeta, but not quite. Because it was only seconds later, through the blinding light that was beginning to shine on through to everyone's disappointment and utter shock, instead of going as far as to get the perfected variation of the young adult version of Gotenks, we instead now revert back to fat Gotenks instead, as the run-on gag for the boys in having to either misremember or continuously mess up the fusion seems to be a common trope with them, as even with Gotenks themselves having to acknowledge that, yeah, they're fat again, that was when Goku went on to chime in, oh man, they failed. Oh, you still couldn't do it right, Gohan utters, with Gotenks having to then yell, oh, damn it, well, I've got no other choice than to go in with this, hi-ya! But just as you expected for this battle to go, this was by no means going to favor Gotenks whatsoever, because before you know it, in one literal strike with one singular kick to Gotenks' face, what Gohan inevitably ends up doing is one-shotting Gotenks across the field and having to land near Beerus' tree, which once again also went as far as to kind of give us the notion that Ultimate Gohan is stronger than a misrepresented fusion, at least thus far, because for Gotenks now, that was all she wrote, with Goku then having to respond, ooh, man, well that settles it, I guess, with Gotenks uttering, damn, I lost. Oh, what a waste, Vegeta utters. Well, alright, Goku says, my turn's next. Alright, Dad, thank you so much, with Broly having to look on surprised by them responding, and so now it's Goku, with Gotenks quickly running towards the Red Ribbon car by then having to shout, hey, can you please delete that footage where I just lost the battle? Just delete it all! To which, respectively enough, just before their initial engagement, with both Goku and Gohan now shown having to bow towards one another and giving the other respect, by no means was Goku looking to waste a single second in this battle, but by instead having to jump to his strongest level of power, to which as soon as Goku was shown having to go from his base level and jumping straight into Mastered Ultra Instinct was when Gotenks went on to then chime in, whoa, that must be Ultra Instinct, with Goku responding, there we go, and so now let's not waste any more time and jump into our final forms, Gohan, with Gohan responding, right, Dad, understood, with Beerus having to then chime in, Whis, Goku's current Ultra Instinct is his strongest technique, right? Why, yes, it seems like it, Whis responds, to which as soon as Gohan then was shown having to close his eyes and almost looking calm, cool, and collected similar to that of his father, we then begin to see a very intense gust of wind begin to circle Gohan's body, as Gohan from there was beginning to channel all of the energy within him, and going as far as to relax himself just before the point of having to unleash this festering storm that had been brewing within him, as before you know it, the moment Gohan suddenly went on to open his eyes, similar to that of how he did against Perfect Cell in Dragon Ball Z and Cell Max in Dragon Ball Super, Gohan from there immediately erupts in an explosive fit of rage and channeling everything he has from within him now onto the surface, and from there giving way and finally introducing his beast form before a large audience to see for the very first time, with Beast Gohan now standing ready for battle against Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku, and also having to leave Goku completely baffled, as even with both Goku and Vegeta taken back by the sudden storm of energy that was beginning to slam right into them, was when Vegeta then went on to respond, this is, whoa, now that's one hell of a key storm, Gohan. Incredible, Goku responds. Look, he's back to that same look that he had before, Carmine responds. Well now, didn't I tell you that you might see something interesting? We spent on to then question Beerus, with Gohan then responding, alright, Dad, now let's begin, with Goku responding, yeah, I've been looking forward to this, and so now let's do it. To where with both Gohan and Goku now being shown getting into fighting position with Vegeta having to look on with a grin on his face, that was when both Goku and Gohan were from that point then shown dashing right towards each other and not wasting a single second during this moment, because this very matchup in and of itself was going to be a deciding factor in having to determine on which one of the two between Gohan and Goku was going to be the strongest warrior, in which moments before having to clash with Gohan and Goku being shown having to vanish and demonstrating tremendous amounts of speed in the sky, it was only just upon their initial engagement with the two going back and forth with such intensity that it only prompted everybody to look up in absolute awe. One could only go as far as to imagine the level of speed in which these two are actually fighting in currently, because it was only just upon their battle now beginning to take place as the entirety of Beerus's planet was now beginning to tremble and essentially have massive parts of the planet be destroyed under the tremendous pressure and shockwaves that were now beginning to emanate from this very battle. The ongoing spectators that were watching this, such as Sheila and Lembo, were lucky enough to have Broly by their side and having to protect them from flying off the planet, including both Soldier number 15 and Carmine, who were coincidentally enough saved by none other than Fat Gotenks, as it was only just when Carmine was beginning to thank Gotenks as Broly kept on looking up towards the sky, was where you can see it upon Broly's face that he was mesmerized by this very battle, to which as soon as Beast Gohan was shown engaging against Ultra Instinct Goku, neither of the two warriors looked as though they were going to falter from this position, because neither of the two warriors had looked as though they were worried, concerned, or fearful of the other in this battle, but instead it only had now looked as though they were fighting on par and rather equally, instead of just simply having one completely overpower the other, which from that point once again had only transitioned in Goku and Gohan moving at such rapid speeds, to which once again had only went as far as to create another shockwave of storms that even went as far as to have Whis create a barrier around the spectators watching, to where even with Beerus having to observe this as he was patiently watching up above in the sky was when Beerus went on to comment, Whis? Why yes, Whis responds, as this barrier was very much well needed, because as of course you guys can see with Gohan and Goku battling very intensely up in the sky, the amount of sheer force that was beginning to rain down all throughout the landscape below was beginning to become a very big danger to everyone that was currently there. But even thus, nevertheless, a very telling battle between the two so far, because as soon as we transition on outwards in seeing the trees be blown away off Beerus's planet, in seeing the water be blown away off Beerus's planet, neither Gohan or Goku once again seem to be letting up against the other, because still, even now, they appear to be fighting very evenly, even if this means this comes at the cost of Beerus's planet completely being destroyed, which is very rare to see happen, especially if Beerus is never one to have anyone actually go as far as to wreck his planet like this to begin with. But even then, despite with Gohan and Goku having to break away and landing back down and having to then take a look at the entire ravaged landscape from above, it's almost incredible to see the level of damage that Gohan and Goku had done onto Beerus's planet thus far, while mind you having to fight very casually, as Goku then went on to respond, alright Gohan, let's keep this going, with Gohan responding, right, as Beerus then went on to chime in, those guys, look what they've done to my planet! As it was only right then and there now, during that moment, where Dragon Ball Super manga chapter number 102 then comes to a close. Now, you can make no mistake about the fact that now, number one, what this manga chapter basically goes on to set up now, going into Dragon Ball Super manga chapter number 103, is going as far as to establish the overall premise of what is about to transpire involving Beast Gohan and Ultra Instinct Goku, and with neither of the two looking hesitant or tired or fearful of the other, you can only imagine now going into next month's manga chapter as to how brutal this fight is going to be, only because there needs to be a definitive winner unless they somehow either end up interrupting the fight or somehow coming to a conclusion where this fight ends up being a draw. But what I really enjoyed about this manga chapter specifically was seeing the boys, Goten and Trunks, actually get some shine on over by having to battle and train with Gohan, but if anything else, this was in fact the first time that we've ever seen Goten and Trunks alongside with Gohan having to be on Beerus's planet, but on top of this, this was also the first time that we had the chance to see Vegeta, Broly, Goku, Gohan, Goten, and Trunks on Beerus's planet together. But one of the biggest takeaways for me was seeing the fact that the Goten/Trunks fight with Gohan lasted a bit longer than it should, to which I want to go on ahead now and get your thoughts and how you guys feel down in the comment section below in regards to 3 specific questions, with that being question number 1. On a rating scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being absolute trash and with 5 being phenomenal, what would you guys rank Dragon Ball Super manga chapter number 102 and why? Question number 2 is essentially, which side are you guys on? Are you guys for Team Gohan or are you guys for Team Goku going into Dragon Ball Super Manga chapter number 103. And lastly, question number 3 is, who do you think is stronger currently between Ultra Instinct Goku and Beast Gohan, and why? As again, I want to thank you all so much for watching, everybody. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you all so much for your time. Which, once more, if you also just so happen to be new to the channel and of course love Dragon Ball and anime, then I do encourage for you guys to head on over and smash that subscribe button on top of giving this video a big fat thumbs up by smashing that like button down below. And tune back in for more, because there is so much more coming your way. And with all that being said, I will be seeing each and every single one of you down in the comment section below and in the next video. Take it easy, everybody, and have a great day. Peace.
Hello.
Listen, offensively,
Did you
they're
know
very
that you can
comfortable
stay
with
up
him
to
taking
date
that
with
shot.
the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to Unrelent Gaming? Also,
you can transfer your IRA or old 401k and get a 3% boost only with Robinhood Gold through April 30th.
Here's how to get your first 100 plays on SoundCloud. It really sucks when you spend so much time making a track just to...
If so, we want to reduce one of the other.
Now, here's Poole. Defense is right there. Bagley.
So they're both getting a lot of love around the same space, around this 40 hertz or so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sacrifice some of the 808. So I'm going to roll off just a hair of this 40 right over here and just turn it down just a little bit. Let's narrow this out just a little bit. And we're going to come over here to that 40 where that kick is and just turn this down ever so slightly. All right, so now I'm going to boost some of this low end. I'm going to narrow this out a little bit and try to get below the 40 hertz. See that there? So now this boost is happening around this 20 to 30 hertz. We cut out just a little bit of that 40, and now we've boosted where the kick is not. So you're going to feel a nice rumble of this 808 down here where the kick is not. That's going to really be transparent and help us in the long run. I'm going to color these 808s now that we got the EQ out of the way. So we're going to grab some of the distortion, and then I'm just going to grab a little bit of bit crusher and get some more harmonics out of this 808. So we'll do about 10 bit. Then we're going to turn this drive up. All right. So we know what we're working with. Now we can blend this in the mix. Yeah. Now let's go ahead and create a bus or a track stack for the drums and the 808, and then we're going to mix them all together combined. So what we're going to do right now is right click on this, and we can do create track stack, and then we'll do this as a summing stack. Now we have all of the drums and the 808 in one track stack. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to reach for a different EQ to add some nice sizzle on the drums. So we're going to come over here to Vintage EQ Collection, and then we're going to come over here to Vintage Tube EQ, and we're just going to beef up the drum bus all together. We're going to add some sizzle and a little bit of low end.
I'm Latifah Simon. I've spent my life making sure people in power cannot ignore us. Our voices, our communities, our hopes, and our dreams. Now, as an elected member of Congress, I want to bring people along with me. I'm fighting for the mother who's sleeping in her car. I am fighting for the father who is...
Come on, man. Yeah, man. Go light that up, man.
Here's money. Goodbye, pool.
Man, what? Don't come around here. Real gas, man. God damn. What? Not at all. Don't really got no real problems, but if I got problems, believe I'ma say something. Pulling the touch to roll up some shit out the pound, and as soon as I wake up, don't really fuck with you niggas, but that's the results when you young and you famous. No, I ain't chasing these bitches, I'm making these millions, I'm running my label. Gotta be family and shit, only room for their ones if you sit at the table. I don't be doing that shit that the mother fools do, found a whole nother angle. And I be smoking that shit that them little niggas hitting their coffee get strangled. And your bitch didn't know about me, so you show my pic to her, now she in tango. I fuck get twisted and lay low. 250K pay show, a couple of million that's payroll. I'm loving the feeling, let's double the digits. A trip around the world, I done made those. Hit me with the girl if she can't pose. I put YSL on her ankles. Do dinner at places you take boats. I'm out in Detroit in a mink coat. Tucson, Arizona, some pink toes. I'm smoking in London with free codes. They dealing with losses a lot on their team, but I'm not on the one that they cling to. I got some cars with the top and a couple do drop that means some of them see through. Ain't even reaching out now, I'll be up in the house, they be coming for me too. Yeah, I'm the one with the mean moves. Yeah, I'm the one with the green when I pull up, they smoking weed too. Yeah, I'm the one that'll see some fuck shit and say we'll never be cool. Baby, fuck with me and get some better shoes. Pop the squeeze, you in a better mood. Join the team and you'll never lose. Follow me cause I'm the main influence. I don't really talk, I do it. Want it all, but it's not included. Big motion, that's lots of movement. Keep saying they got lungs to prove it. Which Ferrari I got the new one. They got no real problems, but if I got problems, believe I'ma say something. And I'm the type to roll up some shit out the pound, and as soon as I wake up, don't really fuck with you niggas, but that's the results when you young and you famous. No, I ain't chasing these bitches, I'm making these millions, I'm running my label. Gotta be family and shit, only room for day ones if you sit at this table. I don't be doing that shit that the mother fools do, found a whole nother angle. And I be smoking that shit that them little niggas hitting they coffee get strangled. And your bitch didn't know about me till you show my picture her, now she in tango. I don't be fucking with none of these niggas cause I gotta go get my cake up. And I don't be fucking with none of these niggas cause I'd rather go get my paper. Tonight I just made so much money on stage that I might just go open a bank up.
Tim Grayson, a small business owner, public safety leader, proud family man. Supported by firefighters and law enforcement, Tim will prioritize public safety and...
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka All Fires. Now, there are still a ton of question marks as they pertain to the Marvel slate and the multiverse saga, and this is something that we expect them to go a long way in addressing this summer at either San Diego Comic-Con Hall H or D23, which incidentally are only weeks apart if Marvel decides to do presentations at both. Now, while we patiently wait for that, there are some question marks right in front of us and some films that need to go to filming and on the calendar in the next 24 months, but still don't have directors, namely Spider-Man 4, which has been making its own rounds in the industry insider mill here as of late, with nothing but bad news, something we have not covered yet at the channel, well, because there's been other stuff breaking, and the other is the new Avengers films, where we know who's writing both films, that's Michael Waldron, but we have no idea who's directing. Well, according to one industry insider specifically, we're about to get an update on those two films, and imminently. We're breaking down their latest update, where it came from, and what it means for these movies, plus the latest round of names we've heard tied to possibly directing these films. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews, to the occasional industry insider report and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway. The next one is right around the corner to coincide with X-Men 97 next month. Again, all you gotta do, be a subscriber, leave a comment if you want, stick around to the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so today's update actually comes from trusted industry insider Daniel Rickman, a source we've been re-reporting on confidently for years now at the channel, but now recently has major outlets like The Hollywood Reporter and Deadline running his stories and citing him. So congratulations to his recent success, but they're only finding out what we've known for quite some time, is that he's super reliable. His latest update was that he can't wait to find out who's directing Avengers in the next Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man 4, and that we should know soon. So I'm expecting stream, we're going to find out something about these directors, and there's a good reason for that, because some of them are hoping to roll film and in the next 12 months. Now, where we stand with both films is this. Avengers 5 originally had Destin Daniel Cretton attached to direct it, but recently he's departed the film and has been confirmed by Simu Liu, and just days ago, he will definitely be directing Shang-Chi 2. We expect that to be announced as part of the extended multiverse slate and before we wrap up with Avengers Secret Wars. Now, Michael Waldron was writing Avengers Secret Wars, but Jeff Loveness was, of course, on King Dynasty. Now that King Dynasty was yesterday confirmed to be changing titles, they're retooling it and rewriting the movies from scratch. We've had several updates here at the channel about that, but Michael Waldron, the guy writing Avengers Secret Wars, is also now the guy writing Avengers 5, whatever it ends up being called. And because he says specifically the Avengers director, not Avengers 5 director, not Avengers 6 director, to me that's the biggest confirmation in this update of all, and something that we've been speculating here at the channel for quite some time, that whatever director they go with for event.
Turn it all up. Atlanta will be traveling to face them after this. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again. The kick off.
Pad up.
Pad up.
He couldn't believe how
Pad
open
up.
it was. He just couldn't convert it.
Pad up. Yeah, said I was finished, but I want another 2 summers. Hall of Famer hungrier than all the newcomers. Niggas swear they compare, but the truth humble. They get fuck 112, you couldn't do numbers. They tell the label I got A's off the wild mad. That mean I'm keen on the numbers and I count fast. You know it's money that you owe me, niggas phony and I'm white, cool as Phoenix, walk the line, I'm about cash. Benjamin Button getting younger as the hour pass. Should do the freshman cover twice, I'm never outclassed. It's not a rap nigga breathing that can outlast. The fall off is like home, dropping reason without last. We from the south where we learned all about stats. And when niggas prone to shoot first and run their mouth last. And if you run your mouth, bitch, you going outside. Whole click, get the sled on, you a mouth pad. I'm the one that niggas fear on the low ski. Heard them talking like we peers, but they grossly mistaken. And it's blatant. Crocodile tears, niggas know I'm on a tier that they don't see. My dogs only shed tears and emoji. We in another hemisphere splitting proceeds. I dare a nigga rub his hands on this trophy. I vividly remember who was there.
Bulls got 13.
Niggas hit my line when they want something. As a dub, it ain't love if it costs something. Niggas hit my phone up when they need something. I can't recall a time when you gave me something. Chopped up the top, nigga, I achieved something. Drop down, bitch, let me see something. Niggas hit my phone up when they need something. I can't recall a time when you gave me something. Bar 16 in the fucking team something. The boys kiss rain when they see the king coming. You know I run things like the police coming.
Jacked in for Washington.
It says me.
Just over 3.5 minutes through the third quarter of play now. So timeout called here, the first for the Wizards.
Yeah, I think Coach calls this timeout right now because he's not happy with the distribution of shots. Difficult shots, contested shots. You've got to get a better offensive rhythm.
Skull and Bones. It's currently sitting at an average of a 2.9 Metacritic, which means that most people do not like this game. But that doesn't mean everybody hates it. So welcome back to a series that I call Good Reviews for Bad Games. And today we're taking a look at what all 2.9 fans of Skull and Bones have to say about the game. Roll tape. Serious gives Skull and Bones a 10 out of 10, and they go on to say, it's a fun game to play. It may be a bit arcadey, but it takes all the good parts from Black Flag, and it makes it better. And to you, I say, you're entitled to your opinion, but I'm not going to lie. I think this is a Ubisoft employee. You're just making shit up. It takes all the best things from Black Flag and makes it better. First of all, I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan, and Black Flag was one of my least favorite games in the series. And it mainly has to do with the fact that, like, to me, it was a good pirate game, but it wasn't a good Assassin's Creed game because, like, he never even becomes like an assassin in the game. That's beside the point. One of the good things I will say about
And here's Lillard. He brings it up for
is, like I said, it is a good pirate game. One of my favorite aspects of it was that you get to hop on other people's boats, you get to duel them, you get to
points was their biggest margin.
the ocean, go whale hunting, fighting sharks. Like, it was a really good pirate game. So for you to say it takes the good parts from Black Flag and makes it better, it makes me think you didn't actually play in the game because none of that is in Skull and Bones. You're just flat out lying in this review. Also, you said this game is a bit arcadey? A bit arcadey? Like, what are you talking about? In the game, you literally can't even, like, pause it because the wind's always blowing. So if you take your hand off the controller or the mouse and keyboard, your boat will keep going. I'm floating away. Oh my god, can't pause the game. So if the wind's blowing left, your boat's gonna keep tilting left. Like, it has real physics in it. So for you to say it's like arcadey, like, I don't think you played the game. I think this is a Ubisoft employee just making shit up, bro. Scrolling down a little bit further, YRXIM gives Skull and Bones a 9 out of 10. And he says, Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Not Black Flag. Flag. Like a flak jacket, had better combat, and it ran at the same engine a lot of years ago. So if you think that Black Flag was a better game, why did you give it a 9 out of 10? I think you meant to leave a negative review, and you accidentally headbutt your keyboard, and you ended up typing something positive. You typed something a positive score, but then gave it a negative review. This has got to be AI. I don't know. Calamath, the game Skull and Bones at 8 out of 10, and they say, this game isn't for everyone, but I'm enjoying it. I respect that. I feel like it's more suited to a particular kind of casual gamer looking for a game to chill out with and indulge their inner buccaneer, and not someone looking for non-stop type shooter action. I gotta disagree with that. You're saying it's more for like casual gamers is BS to me, because for those you wear in the game, and this is what actually made me uninstall this game, for those unaware, the main gameplay loop is you basically just sail around the seas looking for materials to upgrade your boat, and then you go fight other boats. There's no other actual pirate aspects of the game. The problem with the looting system in this game is, first and foremost, you can't even park your boat. You can't dock your boat and go on the island. You should have been able to go on the islands and actually loot, and then you would run into like rebel camps, like trying to protect their loot and stuff like that, almost like Assassin's Creed. That should have been in the game, but you can't. Instead, what happens is you stop your boat wherever it says there's loot on the map, and then like a little mini game, like an active reload mini game where you have to land it in the middle and get green, and if you get the green, you collect more trees or whatever the fuck you're trying to. It's so fucking boring. Apparently, a pirate can cut a tree while they're inside the boat. I don't know what that's about. Anyways, the reason I say that that's not casual and what made me quit the game is the game does not explain this to you. This is a horrible mechanic, okay? What makes this not casual is all throughout the map, it'll tell you where all the different loot is. You go to that place, right? And then it's not there. So then I went to another place on the map where it said there's loot. It's not there. I went to 3 different spots where it said there's loot, and it wasn't there. To me, the game does not explain to you that just because the loot shows up on the map doesn't mean it's there, because it's a shared universe. If somebody else looted it, it's not going to be there. The issue is, not only does the map not update and let you know the loot isn't there, there's not even like a cooldown clock to let you know that the loot is coming back. So what happens is, you're just aimlessly sailing around the ocean, hoping you find the materials to upgrade your boat. Now, what did I say earlier? The main gameplay loop is just finding loot and upgrading your boat so then you can go find other boats, because there's nothing else to do. When you're on land, it's just vendors. It's basically a job. Imagine working a 9 to 5, right? And then you get on the game, you're tired, you just want to have some fun, being a pirate, singing shanties, fighting, doing other shit, right? You can't even swim in this game. And freaking, you have to do another job. The job to hunt down the loot. Like, at the end of the day, the most important thing I think people got to understand these game developers is the game has to be fun. A lot of times gamers say they want a realistic experience, but I hate to break it to you, most of you do not want a realistic experience. What you want is an authentic experience. The difference between realistic and authentic, at least in my opinion, is that an authentic experience is where it feels just real enough, but it also matches that kind of arcadey, somewhere in the middle, where it's just real enough, but it's still a video game. Realistic to me is like, I always use Armored 3 as an example. That's a realistic shooter, and when it made me stop playing it because it was just too much. I remember when the first time I played Armored 3, I was riding in a helicopter with some friends. Another player shot the helicopter out of the sky. I'm thinking, we're gonna hit the ground, it's gonna blow up, I'm gonna respawn. We hit the ground, the helicopter blows up, but I didn't die. Instead, I had a serious leg injury, and I'm just lying on the ground staring at the ceiling for like fucking 30 minutes. It was so boring. I think what most people want is authentic, not a realistic experience, because realistic is boring most of the fucking time. Fuck that shit. Terroride gives Skull and Bones an 8 out of 10, and they go on to say, it's a good game if you play it for what it is. Ship combat. Go in wanting Black Flag or being upset you can't board ships, or just being generally mad because Ubisoft, of course you're going to have a good bad time. I don't need those mechanics to be happy with the game, and I've had a great time leveling up and customizing my ship. The open world is vast enough and quite nice to explore given it's fairly good looking. I think more players would enjoy it if they really stuck around to take over the manufactories and dive into creating and smuggling an empire. Instead, some people play the game for 2 to 6 hours, decide it's repetitive, and then panic. The intensity comes in late game during events, which are a lot of fun and bring a sense of danger. Don't listen to the current internet hate train and try it for what it is. You might be pleasantly surprised. And I will say, you are entitled to your opinion. Where I disagree is you can't dismiss the hate this game is getting because this game was advertised as a pirate game. And you can't call it a pirate game if they should have called it a ship simulator game because that's actually what it is. And I think that's where a lot of people are upset because it's false advertising. And then on top of that, to add more insult to injury, Ubisoft CEO has come out and said this is the first quadruple A game. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if Assassin's Creed Black Flag was a AAA game that Ubisoft released in, 2014? That was their big AAA release, right? And then this game is being described as a quadruple A game. In theory, this game should have more than the AAA because there's another A. AAA literally means best quality in terms of production, so quadruple means there should be even more than the original release, which was a AAA game. So I'm not saying you can't dislike this game. You can't like the game. You're allowed to like the game. The issue comes into play, and you cannot dismiss this. Ubisoft advertised this as a pirate game, a quadruple A pirate game, and not only is it not quadruple, I'd argue it's not even triple double A. It's just an A game, bruh. That don't even sound right because then an A implies it's good. This game sucks. I don't know, man. Lolo gives Skull and Bones a 10 out of 10, and they say it's a captivating journey into the world of piracy. The developers have done a fantastic job of immersing players into a rich atmosphere of pirate life. Once again, you're entitled to your opinion, but I completely disagree. They did not immerse players into some rich atmosphere of pirate life. How can you say that when literally the only thing you can do is steer a boat? There's more to being a pirate than that. Also, when you're on foot in the hub world, for those who haven't played, there's no talking NPCs or interesting characters. I take that back. There are people who give you missions, but the missions are like collect loot. But there are no like, you know how like in open world games, there's interesting characters you come across, dialogue that make the world feel alive. This is not present in the game, so I don't even understand how you can call this an immersive pirate experience. Especially considering the fact that pirates are some of the most interesting people to ever live in the human history. They were assholes that robbed people and did what the fuck they wanted. And there's not one person that talks in this game that doesn't give you a mission. I think this is a fucking Ubisoft employee. Ian gives Skull and Bones a 10 out of 10, and they go on to say, "Thank you, Ubisoft, for this amazing quadruple A title. I am truly loving it. I'm eager to see what this genius mastermind of a company puts out next." And to this review, I say this is why Metacritic needs to take a page out of Steam or like Amazon, and they need to start verifying people's purchases because I don't think this review is real. I think this is a fucking troll. Get the fuck out of here. So our next review for Skull and Bones comes from Sammy110, and they gave the game a 10 out of 10. They go on to say, finally something different than first-person shooters or anything else we've already had so far. And ladies and gentlemen, this is why I said I'm starting to think some of these positive reviews that are left on Skull and Bones are Ubisoft employees like generated through AI because this literally doesn't make any sense. Let me tell you why. This is one sentence and I can break it down into 2 parts why you're just fucking wrong. You said finally something different than first-person shooters. All right, let's go into 2023. We're in the year 2024. Let's go into 2023. 2023 we had Tears of the Kingdom, Spider-Man 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Super Mario Wonder, Hi-Fi Rush, Street Fighter 6, Jedi Survivor, Alan Wake 2, Diablo 4, Lies of P, Sea of Stars, Pikmin 4, Armored Core 6. We had the Dead Space remake, Resident Evil 4, Cocoon. I don't care about that game. The Cyberpunk DLC. Dave the Diver. I don't really care care about this game. This one either. You get the fucking point. All those games I just listed are not first-person shooters. So, either this is an AI-generated review by Ubisoft employees or you're a fucking fraud that doesn't play games. Because that was just 2023. If you want to take it to 2024, Final Fantasy Rebirth is about to come out in a couple weeks. You got Dragon's Dogma 2. The Prince of Persia Lost Crown just came out. It's fire. Avowed is coming out. Tekken 8 just came out. Fire. Princess Peach Showtime. I ain't playing that shit, but somebody is. It's fucking fire. Shit, Suicide Squad. But it's not a first-person shooter. You got Rise of Ronin. That shit looks fire. It's not a first-person shooter. You could go down those Helldivers 2, Black Myth Wukong, Senior Saga Hellblade 2. Talking about finally some shit that ain't a first-person shooter. You're a fucking fraud. You don't play games. Or this shit is AI generated. Or anything else we've had so far. I mean, it all plays into what I just said. Get the fuck out of here with this shit. Fraud. Oliver gave Skull and Bones a 10 out of 10, and they go on to say, interesting, Ubisoft. Quite innovative, in my opinion. Maybe a mobile version with microtransactions would be great for this concept. And I can't tell whether or not they're trolling. They could be serious. If you're serious, fuck you. The fuck are you talking about? But I think you're trolling. I think you're trolling. This one right here, though, the one right below it, Gamer Gunk, he gave it a 10 out of 10. He said, wow, very great game. Stamina on ships was a very great idea that Ubisoft had. Very nice. He's definitely trolling because for those of you unaware, there is stamina on the ships. In a game where you can barely do anything, I don't know why they put stamina on a ship. No clever commentary, just why is there stamina on a ship that's driven by the wind?
KMP, I got some... And just when you think he's trapped on the baseline, he whips the pass to the open shooter.
You think he planned that, or he bailed himself out?
Oh, shit. What's going on with you? Shit, man. Shit. On this motherfucker for a little bit before I go on in. My Friday and shit.
Trying to see if we could start in 5 some shit.
Fuck it. Let's get one in real quick.
Last time they gave me some random nigga. I'm like, who is this?
Yeah, that was crazy. We went in at the same time, too.
It's because people play it late in the season so they could try to make level 40. I'm one of them.
You said you what?
I said I'm for sure one of them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'll be in there.
I'm about to get this reward real quick.
Oh, yeah, I need to put my car on. Hold on.
Who playing today? Mac and Cavs. I'm gonna go with the Cavs. Pacers and that one. Raptors. Fuck it. 76ers and Knicks. Is Embiid playing? I'm gonna go with the Knicks. Suns and Mavericks. Ooh-wee. Mavericks at home. I'm gonna go with the Mavs at home. No offense to your boy KD, but my nigga, don't fuck this brick up. Hit him with a right foot so we can run this paper up. Please, my nigga, don't fuck this brick up. I'm in the starting 5.
Right next to you.
Bro, I didn't even know that was you, nigga. You dyed your hair. I'm like, man, who the fuck is this nigga? Nah, man, that don't even match. Huh?
My controller hella broke.
Nigga, what that got to do with your hair?
You know, I'm just...
When this nigga dyed his hair, though, man. Nah, for real. Hey, you oh, nigga, you cut your shit?
Yeah.
Damn. What made you do it?
Yeah, I just felt like it. I've been thinking about it for hella long, and I was like, ooh,
My nigga gonna look like Jonathan Kaminga now. Oh, go in. No, they put me against the other nigga. Hella fast. I'm about to close. My nigga going back to real teenage Tay. When nigga didn't have no dreads at all. That nigga about to look like the RZA. Man. Alright, I'm back. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Ah, it's a nigga that went in there too. This bitch ass nigga.
Damn.
They gave you somebody else.
Yeah.
They might as well play it out. Before they ban a nigga.
And they just picked the all-time Lakers on this bitch ass nigga.
Have you heard about that game, Hell Divers 2 or some shit?
Welcome everyone. Let's get ready for some NBA basketball on 2K Sports.
Is it free?
I don't know. Jalil had bought it.
We'll see the Golden State Warriors taking on the Los Angeles
He was telling me to download that shit.
So the Lakers win the tip.
I've been seeing shit on it, seeing shit about it on like the Twitter and stuff like that. And it's people comparing it to what's that called? To Halo.
And that's 2 points on the layup.
The strength of O'Neal is otherworldly.
Green, the screen. The three from MP. It's stolen by Abdul-Jabbar. And the three off target. MP outside. Curry on the wing. Fires the three. Nailed from three-point land.
I'll never get tired of seeing Steph Curry shoot. His ability to hit tough ones is beyond belief.
That shit had me searching for a match for hella long. I closed that again.
Yeah, true. I'm gonna close it.
Yeah.